Oh, they've done it! Steven Terodde, an instant hero! Can you believe this? Plenty of packing! No! The comeback is complete! A stunning second half from Schalke!
Blau und Weiß sein Leben lang. Herzlich willkommen zurück auf Schalke America. Glück auf, everyone. Glück auf. It's a Victory Monday. It's a Victory Monday. Didn't think I'd be say this back-to-back weeks. We were hoping for it, right? We were hoping for it, but we got it. Back-to-back Victory Mondays wasn't pretty necessarily, but here we are. I'm your host, Franky Kramer, on this Victory Monday podcast. No Jack Maggot tonight, but we got a lot to get into tonight. Little rundown on what the show is going to go on. Obviously, it's Victory Monday. We're going to talk the game, right, against Hansa Rostock, 2-0 victory. We'll talk a little fan violence game. The first half took 81 minutes, right? So talk a little fan violence, talk a red card that kind of got the game moving for us at least. And then obviously the win in the game. We'll talk about maybe some questions like, what do we do with Rostock when they come back to our town in Veltins Arena, right? Maybe talk a little winter transfer window commentary there. But we're going to start off with some breaking news, and it is the DFL Investors have been voted in. Chat is active already. Happy Victory Monday, Wafflo. Glück auf. But yeah, let's get into the news because the game can wait. Victory Monday. However, DFL investor, Viet Coleman, right? Our friends over at the FC Köln Supporters USA and on Twitter did a nice little thread, so I'm going to read it all, kind of summarizing what the article was about, what exactly the heck happened here. Interesting news that broke out. So 2/3 majority achieved. The way is clear for DFL investors to come into the Bundesliga. Back in May, there was a vote, as you remember. Schalke, one of the few that, one of the 10 that said no, and it did not pass back then. But we are back again voting, and it passed this time. So DFL management is allowed to negotiate with potential investors about joining. According to Kicker, this is where all information comes from, is from the Kicker article. According to Kicker information, the corresponding motion received. The necessary majority at the general meeting was on Monday. The way is clear for negotiations with the DFL investor. According to Kicker information, at the general meeting on Monday, 24 of the 36 Deutsche Fußball League clubs voted yes, 10 voted no, 2 clubs abstained. This means that the necessary 2/3 majority was achieved by a very slim margin. If there was just one less yes vote, the application would have been rejected. A close result was expected until the end. The vote took place in secrecy. As we mentioned, back in May, the same vote happened again. Only 12 clubs voted yes. It was rejected. But among other things, if the league joins, it will receive 900 million euros and 1 billion euros over the next several years for an investor stake of around 8%. In the spring, it was around 2 billion euros, 12.5%. Thanks to the positive decision by Lentz and Miracle, now receive a mandate from the members for negotiations and conclude a deal with investor. There is an interest from the 4 private equity companies, Advent, Blackstone, CVC, and EQT. The managing duo advertised, among other things, clear red lines that would have limited investors' ability to intervene. The right to have a say and should be limited to economic components, for example, and investors should not have a say in kickoff times. As in May, the DFL leadership, including executive committee spokesperson Hans-Joachim Watzke of the BXB, campaigned for such a deal in order to ensure the league's competitiveness in international comparison and to promote business development. Some clubs categorically reject the investor involvement. Others were bothered by the way the deal was structured. The fan scene is also one to declared opponents of entry. At the weekend, there were protests in numerous Bundesliga stadiums around a yes vote to the investor, as in the Zweite Liga. The fan association Unsere Kurve had criticized the fact that the short notice of the vote had massively increased the pressure on the clubs. So what the hell does that all mean? They say it's for the good of the Bundesliga. We're going to do a video on this because this is obviously a hot topic. However, for the good of the Bundesliga, but when you look at the breakdown of it, and I don't have it right in front of me, nothing says for the good of the Bundesliga. It says for marketing. It's all about marketing. And honestly, it's a really shitty excuse if you're asking me. Here we go. Let's see if I got the breakdown right here. All right, let's see. It's coming through. Sports Show. Let's see if I got the breakdown here on this. Come on. I thought this article had it. It did not have it. Anyway, 126 million is going to go towards curbing content piracy online. Saw the same BS that Serie A had pulled with the same thing of focusing on the piracy versus sharing the. I mean, what is? I get it and I don't get it, right? You don't want people to steal the content, obviously, but people should be sharing the Bundesliga, the Zweite Liga. If you give them a strike for showing 5 seconds of clips, that's BS. How are you going to promote the league? You talk about marketing. How are you going to promote the league if you don't let us creators share the product that we love so much? We've gotten strike before. I remember in the 4-4 River Derby game when Naldo scored the game-tying goal. We shared a 5-second clip of him scoring that goal. It's not even the goal; it was a celebration, and we got a strike against that. So you're gonna have more of that. Hey, I guess they don't want to spread the game as much as they say they do. But this big investorship is all about marketing, not necessarily helping the Bundesliga. It's just more branding than the Bundesliga. It's going to be very similar to the NBA pass, where it really try to bring attention to it. But to me, I'm going to read a little bit more before I make the next video. But to me, this is just like a cop-out way to get more money. It doesn't really help the teams. It helps the people at the top who make the money. That's about it. But I'm curious. Tell us your thoughts on the comments of this video or anywhere on social media where Schalke America is. But that was the late breaking news there. Obviously big news that broke out today. So we want to start off the show with that. But it is Victory Monday. Let's get into the good of the which was the game. Was it good? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Look at the lineups in this one. The home team, which was Hansa Rostock. Geraerts mentioned this in the pre-match press conference, how Rostock is a difficult place to play. Jack and I talked about it. Everybody who knows about Rostock knows it's a difficult place to play, a difficult team. Well, it certainly lived up to the billing, right? But look at the home lineup in this one. Kolke in goal with Jonas David, Husling, Rosbach, and Rossipal in the back. A midfield diamond four of Rhein, Vasiliadis, Fröhling, and Dressel with Junior Brumado and Proger, former Schalke player, in the striker positions. For us, we had Fairman in goal once again. There was news before the match that Marius Müller, healthy again, he's back practicing. Geraerts did not want to rush him into the game. He wants to continue recovering, and at the start of the Rückrunde, hopefully Marius Müller will get the start then. Plus, Fairman isn't doing poorly at the moment, so why not keep him in there? So Fairman in goal once again. A back four of Matriciani, Kalash, Kaminski, Merkin. Midfield diamond of Seguin, Idrizi getting a start in this one. Karaman and Moore with Terodde and Lasme up top. This was an interesting game, to say the least. The one thing Geraerts said at the start of the game is that he wanted to start the game better than what we had been doing for the majority of time under Rice and even under Geraerts' tenure. We saw the games against Dusseldorf and a bunch of the games, really, that the first 20, 30 minutes, we've basically been non-existent. And Geraerts said, we have to come out better, like we did against Osnabrück. Yeah, Osnabrück are the bottom of the table. They won this weekend, by the way, I think. But we got to come out strong. We can't be in the deficit to start the game. We're just chasing shadows, as it comes to it. It just tires us out so quickly, and it's hard to come back in those kind of games. We almost did against Dusseldorf, but again, it's too much to overcome. I thought in this game it started out better. It was better performance compared to those other games. Not necessarily Osnabrück. Obviously, Osnabrück, we had a couple goals in that first half, 3 actually. But it was an interesting way to start the game. It was two teams very similar to both. We were 16th coming into the game. They were 15th position. Just basically two teams on the same level kind of cancel each other out. We had some opportunities. They had some opportunities. Really a stalemate of a first half, honestly. We had probably the majority of the chances in that first half, I would say. But really things started to change in the 37th minute. Now, this is the longest first half that I've ever witnessed, and I think anybody, right? And anybody watched this game realized what. But in the 37th minute, Junior Bramado he's going for a ball with, man, who was it? It was I think it was Moore going to ball with Moore or someone, Seguin, maybe Seguin, and Junior Bramado intentionally sticks out his arm or shoulder, knocks him in the face, knocks him out. Referee gives him a yellow. First, I didn't think they were going to give him a yellow card. And obviously protesting. Geraerts is on the sidelines protesting. I mean, it was clearly a dangerous play. So we're thinking it's going to go to VAR, right? But no. All of a sudden, the camera pans up into the crowd. And what do we see? We see a massive amount of people getting ushered out of the stadium. We're trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. We figured it was something to do with some fan violence. We heard some flares and stuff going off just before the camera panned over there. And everyone's trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. And so while all this is happening, an announcement came on the screen, said all players must get off the field. They go into the locker room. And apparently the police wanted to shut down the game right there on the spot due to fan violence. What we saw in the beginning moments of that end of the first half is what we thought was it was just the Rostock fans who were causing chaos, causing trouble. We did also hear that the police were starting to have fights with the Rostock fans outside the stadium, and that's part of the reason why they want to get them out of there. Started seeing leaked video footage of some Schalke supporters or some ultras or whoever breaking glass, trying to get over at the Rostock, and then kind of begging them to come over and fight them. And hey, they weren't obliged, I guess. And both teams, Rostock fans, entered the no-go area, and all kinds of chaos broke through. Some flares were shot at the Rostock fans, and it went both ways. Both sets of fans were having some bunch of freaking idiots. Dirk, you said it perfectly there. A bunch of freaking idiots is what it was. Both sides, right? It was absolutely both sides. But Rostock was looking for a fight. They've been known to be this kind of ultra group that likes to do these kind of things. Not that others don't, right? But they don't hide it. They don't hide that fact. The last time Asamoah even said this before the game, how like the last time they came to Rostock, a year and a half ago, although the ultras were throwing bricks at their buses and trying to bust out the windows of the bus. So it's not something they were surprised by. The police obviously weren't surprised by it either. Surprisingly enough, the police presence wasn't as great as when Hertha were there visiting not too long ago. And I think our friend Eric on the Discord channel said that they had 4 times the amount of police at the Hertha match versus this one. Ultra is right. Ultra idiots. Absolutely. So yeah, the game, the players and the coaches, everyone, they kind of protested the cancellation of the game. I thought it was going to be a forfeit automatically. It just seemed like a forfeit was coming. I've seen this in other leagues where it ended up being a forfeit, but they thought better of it. Players started coming back onto the pitch. Time is ticking, by the way. Time is ticking. Still the first half, by the way. There was still the foul happened the 38th minute. So we had 7 minutes before the stoppage time even started in the first half. They started coming back out there, and all of a sudden, referee decides after 30 minutes, I'm now going to check VAR. He could have done it the whole time while all this violence is going on in the stands. But no, he waited till they go back on the pitch on the 67th minute. Yes, their 67th minute in the first half to check the foul. And oh yeah, look, what do you know? Junior Bramado did get a red card. So they changed the yellow to a red. The police he threw me off my game, Dirk. They ended up giving Junior Bramado a red card. Obviously, the fans did not like this. The home fans of Rostock did not like this. The manager didn't like it, obviously. But it was a red card. It was a red card, no doubt about it. He intentionally went to injure Paul Seguin in that play, and rightfully so, deserved that red card. So he's out of there. First half, wraps up. Nothing really too crazy in that first half. You look at the first half statistics. After 81 minutes, the first half ended after 81 minutes, which is unreal. I've never seen anything like that in my life. But first half statistics, shots 5-2 in our favor, fouls even 10-7, possession 58-42 in our favor. Like I said, we looked the better of the team. It wasn't really saying much. Both teams are fairly even. Nothing too crazy to write home about. Those are the main statistics of the first half, like I said. But You knew going to second half, we would have the majority of possession because we were up a man. My question was, and my worry was that we've seen this before with Schalke. We've been up a man before, and we cannot do anything with it. We struggle to take advantage of the man up. We certainly play very poor when we're in a man down, right? But when we're a man up, we don't take advantage of it. And to start the second half, credit to Hansa Rostock. They played a park the bus mentality. Played a low block and made it super difficult for Schalke. I think Schalke didn't help our. We didn't help our cause. Schalke didn't help their cause because they were very static up front. I mean, Brian Lasme had a million opportunities in this game, and this guy must be hurting for confidence at the moment because he was in the right positions and skies the ball over the net. He had a couple wide open headers from like the 6-yard mark and misses the net. His confidence has got to be way down right now. It showed because he could easily himself could have had 4 goals in this game. That's how wide open he was on many plays. He was in the right place. He just failed the finishing every time. And so for a while, it looked like we are not going to get a result in this one. As the time ticked on in the second half, they finally adjusted to real time. But your time is in the 60th minute at this point, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're not going to get a goal in this game. Finally, Lendia Drizi, finally, he gets a start in this one. Some good play into the box. Karaman's involved. Bruner's involved. Bruner came on at halftime for Matriciani. I think this is probably the last we'll see of Matriciani for a while. I would imagine. Hasn't looked good under Geraerts. But the ball eventually finds its way to Terodde. Say what you will about Simon Terodde. Obviously, he has this knack of disappearing in games and then obviously showing up for a goal here and there. But I thought in this game in particular, he held up the ball very, very well. And so the ball comes into the box. He ends up obviously holding it off, feeds it to Idrizi, a kind of a flip of what we saw, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago in Sandhausen, where we needed that goal to win, and Idrizi is the one holding the ball up, feeds Terodde for the game-winning goal. This time it's Terodde repaying the favor. Idrizi slots it home, 1-0 in the 72nd minute. We're like, okay, good. That's a goal. That's all we needed. However, I was not convinced that, I thought Rostock looked kind of dangerous with 10 men. They almost looked more dangerous with 10 men than they did with 11. And I kept fearing, here we go. They're gonna find a way to get back into this game. We need that second goal, and it wasn't coming for the longest time. Finally, Geraerts looking for the blood. It's what I did like. Maybe under Thomas Rice we wouldn't have had this, but Geraerts knew that we needed to get a second goal. We just had to. We couldn't hold on that 1-goal lead. And he started bringing up more reinforcements to try to attack the lead. We finally had Polter, Terodde, and Kramer all in there at the same time. We've never had those three big. We rarely have those three bigs in all together at the same time, which was nice to see. And it finally paid off. There was a counterattack where I think Kramer started it off, got it to Terodde. Actually, Terodde is the one who started off. Hold-up play again by Terodde. Finds Polter. Polter with a quick heads-up play. Finds a wide-open, streaking Kramer. Kramer goes down the left-hand side. Does a nice right-footed curler past the keeper. 2-0 game, set, match. Game was over. Love seeing that. When that second goal went in, it was over at that point, and that was the end of the game there. What's Dirk saying here? He says, the card was justified, but I could look at any situation for 30 minutes till I find something. Yes, true. Positive or negative, don't think it was the right to use the break for a long-term review of seeing. Yeah. But then again, the so-called Rostock fans brought the chance to review on their own team. That's true. And I wonder why it took him so long. When that foul happened in the 38th minute, even before the violence happened, they should have gone under review. They should have gone under review immediately because it was plain to see if you were watching the game. And obviously a player is down writhing in pain. Go to review. And what took the side officials or whoever else or the VAR to get in the referee's ear to say, hey, you got to look at this? I don't know what took so long, but it took 30-plus minutes of stoppage with the fan violence to them go, oh, hey, let's check VAR while we're at it. And correct call, like I said. But we went 2-0 in the game. Thrilled at back-to-back wins. All of a sudden, we went from, 2 weeks ago, we were in 16th place. And then we jumped up to 13th place. All of a sudden, back-to-back wins. We got one more game against Greuther Fürth coming up. There's a chance we win that game. The last game of the Hinrunde. We win that game. We could be in 11th place. Now, some matches have to go our way, but we'll be what 22 points, I think 22 points if we get the win next week, this Friday. And I think we'll only be like 9 points out of a promotion spot. 9 points out of it's unbelievable to say that. Or excuse me, I think we're 9 points now out of promotion spot. Hold on a second. Let me get to the standings here real quick. Let's see. Hamburg has 28. We have 19. So yeah, we're 9 points up Hamburg right now. If we win, results go our way, we'll be 6 points from a promotion spot. That's the kind of crazy season to fight the Liga this year. That's the kind of crazy stuff this year. My gosh, I can't believe I say that. Promotion, here we come. Lasme could have, should have. Yeah. It's the time we move on from Lasme. I don't know. Maybe he needs to be on the bench. He brings a lot of good. He does, but I think even the Football Legends podcast with oh my God, the guys. My names are escaping me at the moment. But it's on. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. They were talking about Lasso's very clumsy, and he just, for whatever, he has all the talent in the world, but he just can't put his left foot for a right foot, and he can't score a goal for whatever reason. Wide open net, can't get on target, and it showed in this game. He should have had multiple goals in this game, but we won nonetheless. So we get a third victory against Greuther Fürth in a row this Friday. We could be within 6 points of promotion, which is unreal to say. But the question is now, what with all this fan violence that happened, predictable or not, what happens on the return leg, right? Some good questions came out of the Discord chat this morning or this afternoon. What happens with the Rostock fans when they return on the trip back to Veltins Arena? I think the obvious answer is you're going to have to ban the away fans, or at least the ultras, right? I don't know how you can ban everybody, but some kind of ban is going to have to be in place, I think, because if you're not, they'll probably still show up. We've seen this many times in other places where the ultras get banned from a certain arena, but they still show up and they want to fight in the streets. It not only happens in the Bundesliga, happens in the European matches, it happens all over. But I think that's what you're going to do, because if you don't, you're going to have similar scenes, I think, in the Veltins Arena, and nobody wants to see that. It could have been obviously bad. We had a lot of friends that were at the game, so we got a lot of footage from their point of view, but the police will, I'm sure, be on high alert, as they have been for, obviously the Review Derby games and some of the other big games where the fan violence is predicted. And so you imagine high police presence. You should probably do a ban on the fans, away fans, from visiting Veltins Arena, but we'll see. It'll be a must-see TV, and hopefully we'll be higher in the table than we are now, and so we don't have to worry about relegation. But that was early relegation 6-pointer that we got back-to-back weeks. Happy to have that. What do you guys think? You think Rostock fans should be banned on the return leg to Veltins Arena? Let us know. Fürth will not be easy to beat. They will not. Greuther Fürth are a good team this year. They were last year as well. They are currently sitting in 4th position, 28 points, 9 points ahead of us. We battled Dusseldorf fairly okay. Who else is up there? Hamburg was kind of beat us up. Hanover, we beat Hanover, who were same level on them in points, I think, or a couple points behind them. It'll be interesting to see what kind of game we do. And Geraerts mentioned how difficult Rostock was to plan for. Greuther Fürth is going to be even more difficult to plan for. So we got to figure out what to do there. But after the Greuther Fürth match, it is the Winterpause, and what do we do with the winter transfer window? Obviously, the rumors came out. I think Bild that said that several players and managers are going to be gone. The rumor that came out just before the game was that Gerald Asamoah, his contract will not be extended after this season. To be determined, still a long way to go, right? But indications are early that he will not be extended going into next season. Obviously, he's a fan favorite, a club legend. But we'll see. I mean, if you look at it, if you take the name, him out of the way, has he done enough to do there? That's up for you to say. But I hope to see him and Buskins and even Kreutzer all stay there, keep the team intact, at least the back management staff intact. We'll see. We'll see where we are in the table. It's a long way to go, right? But in terms of the transfer window, rumors are that Polter may go on loan. I know, Dirk, you said you want to keep Polter, give it a Lasme. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think Polter brings a lot of what Terodde does. I love the passion that Polter brings. He's been so consistent, though. When he joined the team and also said he was going to stay for the Schalke Liga, I'm expecting this guy to bag goals. And when he's had his opportunities this year, yeah, we had terrible teams in front of him or behind him. He hasn't done much. I love his spirit. I love everything he brings. Maybe just lack of opportunity and lack of getting opportunities from his teammates, not feeding him the ball. Right? We talked about that with this Terodde before, where like if he doesn't get the ball, he can't do what he does. So maybe the same thing with Poulter. I don't know. But all indications that he wants to go just because he wants some playing time. I understand that, right? I understand that. Don't think we should spend money on a mascot. I love asked about what is he actually doing. Yeah, that's the fair question. You take, and we've seen this with other clubs where they have a club legend who's on the team, and obviously everyone is drawn to the legend. But if you take that name away, that person away, just think about what they've actually done. Have they done enough to stay? That is the question that Geraerts and company are going to be asking. That's what we got to ask ourselves. You know, we all love Geraerts to bits, but has it enough? I don't know. Well, that's something to debate. But Poulter is a guy who's likely going to go on loan. I don't think they're going to sell him. Lasme, I don't know. I think Geraerts likes his pace, what he brings, skill set, but he's got to get his confidence better, man. He can't have 4 opportunities, clear goal-scored opportunities in a game and not score a goal, not get an assist. Kahneman's got to stay just because where's he going to go? There's rumors that he may go to one of the relegation contenders in the Bundesliga. But, like, is that any better than where we're at right now? He'll probably get more playing time now. He's been one of our better players this season. He's got something like 5-6 goals this year already. So I think Karaman's going to stay. Look at the lineup. Terodde's obviously going to stay. I think Idrizi stays. More Seguin and Merkin have to stay. I think Baumgartel's gone. I think he's got to go. Rumor is Oyan. Maybe he's going to go. I don't know if there's friction there with the manager or not. Geraerts says, there's none with him and Oyan. Oyan didn't get on the pitch in this one, but he's just coming off suspension too, so maybe that had something to do with it. Fairman, rumors that if Mueller gets a starting spot back in the Rückrunde, maybe Fairman will be upset. So rumors were maybe Fairman goes. Tempelman was one of the names of guys going to go. I think Tempelman is a curious case because when he's playing well, when he's playing good, he's one of our catalysts. But when he's off, he is just dead weight out there. Nicholas Toyer, I think, he hasn't done much for me. He's got to go. Kazuki, I don't know why he's just not getting pitch time. Kiki Top, he's going to stay, obviously. But there are a few other names that they've been talking about. Maybe Kaminsky, I think Kalash can stay. But who do you keep? Cisse, they said maybe Cisse is going to be gone. So we'll see. I don't know how much money we have. I know that the rumor was, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but we were supposed to have a training camp in Portugal during the Winterpause, and they're going to cancel that trip because they want to save some money for the transfer window. I know Geraerts is itching to go for the training camp, but like I said last podcast, maybe I said in the last video we did after the press conference on Friday night, you can have a training camp in Veltins Arena or at Parkstadion and Gelsenkirchen. You can have training camp there. It's not away and have that team bonding moment, but if you can't travel, you don't have the funds, it's better than nothing, right? At least you're going to practice. They need to practice no matter what. That's what they got to get. They got to get better at that, of all the little basic details in their game. But it's been an interesting one for sure. Maybe Lasme should play defense. He obviously is able to keep the ball out of the net. Dirk, that's good. That's good. Maybe he's playing in the wrong position. Jack and I talked about this. How, like, is he better playing as one of the 2 strikers up top, or is he better on the wing? I think he's better on the wing. The best we've seen him this season, whether it's a friendly or in a real game, he's been on that left wing side. He can play on the right wing side as well, but as one of the 2 top strikers in the lineup in a 4-4-2, it doesn't cut it. And honestly, the 4-4-2 right now is what we've been playing with the diamond in the middle, or 4-1-3-2, whatever you want to call it. Moore's got that space on lockdown. Merkin and Moore have been locking that down lately. They have really good chemistry, both providing on the offensive side, playing decently defensively. It's going to be hard for Oyan to get in the lineup, hard for Lasme to get in the left wing spot. I don't know who pairs up with Terodde up top, but maybe when Ouedraogo comes back, he's up top there. Maybe Karaman goes up top with Terodde, and you got Ouedraogo in the Karaman spot in the 10 position. That's an opportunity there. Who do we get in the winter window? And we don't have any money, but we need central defenders. our guys are struggling at the moment. Kaminsky's been okay. Kalash has been okay, but we need some depth there. Bruner's nice, but he gets injured all the time, so we need a comparable backup. Matriciani does okay. And right winger. Who do we have at right wing? Idrizi played well in this game, I thought. Decent. Got the obviously game-winning goal. And then also, Lasme. He didn't do much, right? So we'll see what we can do. We have no money, no funds. You would hope this investor money would help, the club so they can get more players, but that's not going to work. It ain't for that. So anyway, I'll go off like tangents there. But anyway, it's Victory Monday. Another victory in the game. Back-to-back weeks here. Greuther Fürth this Friday. Game is back on ESPN Plus. It was difficult to watch the game. We all have that on the Discord. We've been sharing a stream to watch these games when they're not, visible in the States. That website was down, so we had to figure some other websites out. We figured it out. Got to watch the game. But this weekend or this Friday, ESPN Plus, the last game of the Hinrunde. Let's get a good result here, which we can all watch the game now. It's going to be amazing. So let's see. Good performance, all we ask for, honestly. A win would be nice because we'd be so close to promotion. Get our optimism back up high after it's been down in the dumps for a long time, right? Only to disappoint us at the end, right? We'll see. But yeah, that's it. Keep the podcast short. It's a Victory Monday. Have some fun. Dawson isn't much better. I bet you Dawson's just a little bit better because they have like maybe 3 more games than ESPN Plus. But doesn't do a GoFundMe in Deutschland. Schalke need to do a GoFundMe. They do. Get some investments there. Who was it? Geraerts mentioned in his press conference before Hansa Rostock how he met the president of Germany, and he was a big Schalke fan. By the way, I gotta say, Geraerts is speaking English, which is nice to hear from us on this side of the States. But Geraerts' German is getting better. He's not speaking it yet, but he understands it. I was watching the post-match press conference at Hansa Rostock, and he only had maybe 2 questions asked towards him. Not even. He had 1 question asked towards him. He intervened. So all the questions that came to him were Actually, he didn't get any questions. The hostess went to him and said, "What are your thoughts on the game?" He gave his synopsis of the game, and then the only question that he got to answer was they asked the manager for Rostock what his thoughts are of the red card and the fan violence. And as he was talking about the fan violence, Geraerts jumped in. He goes, "Yeah, no, I agree with what he's saying. Everyone was taken aback by the violence, blah blah blah." But Geraerts understands German, so his German is coming along. He's not quite ready to speak it yet, but he didn't have an earpiece in his ear, and so he clearly is understanding German, which is nice to see how quickly he can pick it up. But being in Belgium, he's familiar with multiple languages already, so I'm sure he can pick it up quickly. You imagine at the very least he speaks English, French, and Dutch, or whatever, I forget what they call it in Belgium. Discord's going to have a field day with that one right there. But yeah, before I embarrass myself anymore, let's just end this podcast here now. End this Victory Monday on a good note. If you want to follow Jack Mangan, JMMAN, do it again, at JMMANGAN on Twitter or anywhere on social media. And as well, you can follow me at R_KHARMAN. More importantly, follow Schalke America anywhere on social media. And if you're watching here on YouTube, or even if you're not, go to our YouTube page, subscribe if you haven't already, like and leave comments on the video. You're much appreciated. Share our content, be much appreciated. And again, join us in the Discord channel. It's a fun group to chat about. Mostly Schalke, but we talk about everything in there and like to have fun as well. So go out there, check it out. We'll post a link with this podcast video, and then enjoy the rest of your short week because we got a game on Friday against Greuther Fürth. Will we be within 6 points of promotion? Will we get our optimism high? To be determined. But I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll catch you then. Glück auf.